a joy to have you with us here on this Monday of the Word of Encouragement. And today I'd like to look at Acts chapter 26. We, of course, marvel as we read of the life of the Apostle Paul, both in the book of Acts and then in the epistles that he wrote. And you might have thought, as I have, what kept motivating him? Now we know it's the power of God. We know it is the work that the Holy Spirit was doing in him. But what caused him to allow God to do the work that he had ordained him to do? Well, as we find in the defense of the Apostle Paul before King Agrippa, we find part of why I believe that he was able to have such a consistent ministry and not to back up or quit during the times of major opposition. And we read in verse 17 of chapter 26 the account that he gives of when the Lord met him on the Damascus road. And I'm actually going to move back to verse 15. And I said, "Who art thou, Lord?" And he said, "I am Jesus, whom thou persecutest. But rise and stand upon thy feet, for I have appeared unto thee for this purpose, to make thee a minister and a witness both of these things which thou hast seen, and of those things in which I will appear unto thee, delivering thee from the people and from the Gentiles, unto whom now I send thee, to open their eyes, and to turn them from darkness to light, and from the power of Satan unto God, that they may receive forgiveness of sins and inheritance among them which are sanctified by faith that is in me." And here's the answer. "Whereupon, O King Agrippa, I was not disobedient unto the heavenly vision." Now that's quite a vision that the Apostle Paul had. The Lord not only saved him at that moment, but told him that he would reach Gentiles with the glorious news of the saving work of Jesus Christ. And this was a very major moment for the Apostle Paul, a lot to take in, and he was blinded at that moment, and there was much that could have gone wrong if he had not reacted properly. But this statement, I was not disobedient unto the heavenly vision, was the key. Now, my friend, as believers, God works in our hearts. He moves in our hearts in a service or in a time of devotions, maybe in counsel from someone that God is using. But God gives us a vision about our lives. He stirs us and is very much wanting to open our minds and hearts to the full scriptural potential that we have. And as we come to those understandings that he gives, the question is, are we disobedient or obedient to the heavenly vision? Every life is as important as the Apostle Paul's. He's wanting each one of us to do great and mighty things by his power. Not like what the Apostle Paul did, but in the same purpose of reaching people and seeing the Lord work through us. And so I think it's important for all of us to look back in our lives and ask, has God given us a vision that maybe we've gone back on? Has he given us directives that we didn't fully obey? One of the reasons we get discouraged and we don't have that encouragement that we need is because we are not in line with the heavenly vision that God has given to us. There is an excitement and a joy when we are doing what God has clearly shown us to do. And there is not a Christian alive that God does not touch their heart and give them a clear vision, step by step, for their life. So I encourage you today to ask yourself, have I been obedient to the heavenly vision? And is that the reason maybe that I'm discouraged? And Lord, what would it take to get me back into the place that you've called me to be so I can accomplish your will?